Hey everyone, Tony here from Psych'd Baseball Cards with a contest response video for Andy at Nostalgic About Baseball. He's having a 100 subscriber contest and he wanted to see our all-time team for what team we follow. So of course I'm the A's, and so I'm doing the A's. And congratulations on 100, Andy. That's really cool. You'll be at 200 before you know it. Andy does a lot of wax pack breaks from the 80s and 90s, and he's got a really cool channel. I enjoy watching those breaks because I was missing from collecting back in the 80s and 90s, so it's really cool seeing all these cards, seeing somebody open them. He doesn't just do wax packs, so check out his channel. I will definitely leave a link below. You won't be disappointed. So, this was a tough one. It's trying to pick out our all-time team for the team we follow. I had to go online and check. I had the idea who I wanted, but I had a lot of positions with multiple players and wasn't sure which one to go with. So I went online and got some help from Bleacher Report. Yeah. So, I'm only doing the Oakland A's. I didn't include the Philadelphia A's or the Kansas City A's, just Oakland. So let's get started. So at my catcher, I have Terry Steinbach. Terry was a more consistent hitter. My other choice would have been Gene Tennis, but Steinbach was a lot more consistent. He played 11 seasons with the A's and was consistent throughout those whole 11 years. He had a 275 batting average and hit 132 home runs. Tennis was played with the A's for 8 years. In his first 4 years, he was really inconsistent, but the next 4 years, he kind of took off and started really pounding the ball. But I went with the consistency at catcher. Next up, we have first base. Have Mark McGwire. Also consider Jason Giambi, but Mark had he had the Gold Glove, so I put him there for defense as well as power. Actually, his numbers compared pretty much the same with Jason Giambi, but I went with McGwire and the Gold Glove. Okay, second base. This one I came up with Mark Ellis. My other choice would have been Dick Green. Ellis beat out Green though in pretty much every category. He wasn't very flashy, but man, he could play second base. And next up for shortstop, I have Miguel Tejada. Consider Bert Campaneris, but you can't go wrong with either one. I went with Tejada because he had more hits, had more power, and he drove in a lot more runs than Campy. And for third base, I have Captain Sal Bando. This was a tough one, but Bando had a physically healthy career than Eric Chavez and Carney Lansford. He averaged a whole lot more RBIs, home runs, and walks per season than Lansford, and was a little under in Chavez's production, but pretty close. He was a 4-time All-Star with Oakland and finished a season number 2, 3, and 4 in MVP discussions. Chavez had a lot of Gold Gloves, but I'm going with the top 3 MVP choices. That shows you how good of a player Captain Sal was to be considered for the MVP. Second, third, and fourth. Okay, left field. I think you all know who my left fielder is going to be. None other than Rickey Henderson, the greatest. Let's see, what did I do with my... Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry about that, guys and gals. Henderson didn't even have anybody else to even consider here. He's a Hall of Famer, 10-time All-Star, won the MVP in 1990. He has the record for most runs scored, 2,295, sorry, and second most walks with 2,190. And of course, he has a stolen base record with 1,406. He is the franchise leader in games played, at-bats, runs scored, hits, doubles, triples, walks, total bases, stolen bases, leadoff homers, and seasons with the franchise. So Rickey was a done deal. Okay, center field, going with Dave Henderson. Other choices were Tony Armas and Dwayne Murphy. But Hindu averaged more hits, runs, doubles, home runs, RBIs than both Armas and Murphy. Andy hit 275 with the A's. So unfortunately, he passed away not that long ago. Loved that guy. He was great. He was a good teammate, great player, great with the fans. Just an all-around great guy. In the right field, he got none other than Reggie Jackson. Reggie received MPV votes in 7 of his 10 years with Oakland, winning the title in '73. In his best years with the A's, he averaged 32 home runs and 91 RBIs. He is Mr. October and helped the A's win 2 of 3 consecutive World Series titles. Would have been 3, but he was injured and didn't get to play in the first one in '72. Okay, for DH, because I'm an American leaguer, this is going to be Jason Giambi. So Giambi, I knew I was going to have him in there at DH, so I didn't have to worry about putting him in at first. Other considerations was Canseco and Dave Kingman. But Jason Giambi, let's see. Giambi and Canseco are also somewhat similar. The biggest difference is that while Canseco averaged more home runs, Giambi walked a ton more and struck out a whole lot less. To me, it's worth sacrificing 5 home runs per season in favor of less strikeouts, more walks, and a better batting average. So DH, Jason Giambi. And for pitching, I picked, instead of just doing one pitcher, I went with 5. I went with starting 5. This would be my starting 5 for my team. First up, we have Catfish Hunter. Catfish won 161 games with Oakland. He had 21 wins or more in 5 seasons, 5-year stretch, between 71 and 75. He's, of course, in the Hall of Fame. He's an All-Star, Cy Young Award winner, and 3 times World Series champion. So there's my aces, Jason Giambi, or not Jason Giambi, Catfish Hunter. Okay, number 2 in my rotation would have been Vida Blue. In '69, Vida was a Rookie of the Year at age 19. 2 years later, he won the Cy Young Award and the Most Valuable Player Award. In his Cy Young year, he won 24 games, lost 8, and he had a 1.82 ERA. He had 301 strikeouts, completed 24 games, and pitched 8 shutouts. He won 20 or more games 3 times and was in the top 10 Cy Young voting 5 times. So that's a pretty darn good 1-2 punch with Hunter and Vida. Next up, from a number 3 starter, would be Dave Stewart. What Catfish and Vida are to the early A's, Dave Stewart was that for the late 80s. He won 20 games or more from 87 to 90, averaging 10 complete games during that span. During that span, he was also in the top 10 for Cy Young voting, finishing 3rd, 4th, and 2nd and 3rd, respectively. So not too bad. Dave's one of my favorites on the Oakland A's pre- and post-game shows. I like them all, but Dave's just cool. They're all cool, but what can I say? Okay, my number 4 starter is Tim Hudson. Hudson was called Huddy. He was the ace of the big three, Hudson, Mulder, and Zito. He won 92 games and lost 39 with the A's. And so he was the ace of that big three staff that the A's had. But the staff got no love in that Moneyball movie. Okay, my number 5 starter. Picked him over Zito and Welch and Mulder. Because Mulder, Zito, and Welch averaged a record of 16-9 in their best years with the A's. All three of them had an ERA between 350 and 392, but Holtzman averaged 19 wins per year. He wasn't a Cy Young winner like Zito or Welch, but he was a workhorse. The others pitched around 200 innings per season. Holtzman pitched around 270 innings per year. And pitching more innings per season than the other three, he kept his ERA at around 292 or lower, much better than Zito, Welch, and Mulder. More innings, more wins, more effective ERA. Holtzman is my number 5 starter. All right, now I also didn't pick just the closer. I picked a closer and a setup man. My setup man is going to be Raleigh Fingers. And I'll tell you why, as my closer is Dennis Eckersley. All right. In 5 years as a closer with Oakland, Raleigh averaged 21 saves per year. His strikeout numbers are 3 times his walks, and he had a solid 2.50 ERA between 72 and 76. Let me put his card up there too, okay? In contrast, from 87 to 95, Eckersley averaged 36 saves with 40 saves 4 times. In 1992, he won the Cy Young and the MVP as a 37-year-old closer. So I'll take Eck as my closer. Fingers would be my setup guy. Sorry, Raleigh. Got to go with Eck. Okay, so that's my team. Hope you enjoyed that video. Sorry for all the shaking that's holding the cards up. Again, Andy, thank you for the contest, and look forward to your next milestone of 200 subscribers and watching all your videos along the way. So keep making them and keep enjoying the hobby. And everybody, if you haven't seen Andy, he's at Psych'd About Baseball, and I will leave his link below. So everybody, take care, have a great evening, and until next time, peace.